making thumbnails for my church. I want to kind of walk you guys through the process of this and let you see a little bit inside of how I do this for each service every single week. I've done this since a few months before the new year began. Actually did it after the new year began, and then I just went backwards a couple of months because I already had the images and stuff. But regardless, we're gonna get right into this today. So first of all, a couple of windows and a couple of things that I have pulled up, as well as what I'm using. I'm using my M1 MacBook. I think this is like the 2020 or 2021 version or something. I'll put the specs up here somewhere. I have the Adobe Creative Suite, so I'm using Photoshop. The other two that I use a whole lot would be Lightroom and Illustrator. Not using these right now for thumbnails, obviously. I use Lightroom Mobile for most of the images, with the exception of some of these thumbnails. I've got my Facebook already opened. This is just because as of right now, our church is only streaming to Facebook, which I hope to change. I have a window here that houses all of the church photos that we have taken since last Easter, 2023. I keep all of this stuff here, and I actually keep it on my desktop, so that way it uploads automatically to iCloud if something was to happen or if I was away from this computer. But I can access my account, then I can pull up any images that I might need. For every single one of these folders, I have whatever pictures that we've taken, including a posted folder, so that way if I've already shared it to social media, I don't do it again, and I can just throw it in here. I used to just signify that by a little symbol right there, but now I just put it in the posted folder. It's just easier to keep up with, for me at least. It may vary. Like all of these photos we've already used, so I know I won't be going in here and using any of those again, unless it's for promos and stuff like that. So TLR is the living room, obviously Mother's Day, yard sale, just different special events. As I said, Adobe Creative Suite, so I've got Photoshop pulled up. This is where I actually make the thumbnails themselves, and I actually make a couple of different things while I'm making this thumbnail that I use to promote the sermon, or the service itself rather, on Instagram and Facebook, any social media platforms that we might have, and I'll show you that too. Let's go ahead and open those files as well. This is PLC Thumbnails. I have another one that says Insta Square. You'll see it's pretty much the same exact format. And as far as my layers over here go, this is literally the only thing that I use this for. I also have a Insta Stories one. Where's that? Right there. Again, same format. I'll use this for regular stories as well. I have a reference guide to make sure if I'm doing something different with a message or something over top of it, some sort of text, that it's not getting covered up by any buttons or anything like that. Also, for any reels and stuff, if I'm using this to create a thumbnail for a reel that I'm going to schedule and not really plan on editing later, I use this as a reference, so that way when I create this thumbnail, the preacher's head or singer's head or whoever would not be cut off above that box, the square that's going to actually be on the grid of Instagram and stuff like that. So that's what I use that for. All of these I use service to service. This is just kind of the look that I've been using this year. If you look at our Facebook, you can see it's in the banner. And then for all of our thumbnails, again, for a few months now, it's been the same template, same type of service. Easter had to make it a little bit different, but anyways, all of these thumbnails, they pretty much look exactly the same. It's just to keep things somewhat uniform. So yeah, all right, let's get into actually making this thumbnail. I go to each one. My process, I'm just gonna show you how I do it. My process, I normally go to each photo or to each project, and then I click on the image on the very bottom layer that's underneath the filter and everything like that. I click on that, so that way when I drop these images in, I'll already be ready to go. And then all I have to do is put in the title and the speaker and all that good stuff. I do believe within these images there is one, there we go. There's one that's wide like that, or that is landscape. So I'm just gonna drop that in there for the thumbnail. And then we'll do it like this. And his sermon title yesterday, I remember it because I make those graphics for that, was Faded Glory. Faded Glory. I've already got his name because I did that in a service before. After I made that thumbnail, I just went ahead and changed it for whoever I knew was speaking, what the day was gonna be, all that kind of stuff. If I want to be a little bit quicker, instead of just typing Faded Glory over and over again, I'll come back here, just copy this. It will not paste the size of the font, just the font itself and what the font is actually saying. So I'll paste that there. Paste that there. If this was too long, I have another layer right here that has multiple lines where everything is already set on that. I could just do it all with that same one, but I'm Nate, so that's how we're doing it. Faded Glory. And again, I've already set this stuff before, so it already says Pastor Sean Garnett, Sunday morning, May 27th. Same thing on the square one. So now I've just got to get the pictures for the Insta stories and for the grid one. We could really use that same image, but there might be one that I want to use better. There's the Yeti that we got him, if you saw that video. And yeah, I like that one. I like that preach one, probably for the stories. This one, yeah. We'll use a couple of different images. Oh, I accidentally got off of that because I did the text. That's fine though. So we'll drag it underneath that black and white. Change our tool, go there. So we have that one. Insta stories. Select the image again. I'm going to say that this one is posted. Same thing with the thumbnail image. Go to this one here, right there, fill the screen in. Perfect. Now I'm just going to go through each one and I'm going to export these. I actually have a separate folder for all of the thumbnails and different stuff like that. Walrus Facts, that was a project for Mark, so just ignore that. I'm going to save this in thumbnails, and all I'm going to do is use that date, which was the 26th. Did I say the 27th on that thumbnail? Hold on. Okay, not on that one, at least. All right, okay, so export 26th, right? Today's the 28th. 7:26, yeah, 26 a.m. is what I'll be using for that. Let me go make sure I save that back to the right folder. Thumbnails, and boom, there's that. So now we'll go to the next one, and I did mess up on those. So let me change that, and then we will save these to the other folder. A little thing I do here, just instead of copying and pasting, again, it just makes it a little bit quicker. I can just click on this title and then go to the next folder. It automatically renames it under the Save As. Square thumbnails and save. Next one, got to change this to 26th as well. Save as, and I don't know why that changed, but anyways. Artwork, square thumbnails, boom, stories, boom. Wait, oh, that's why I'm tripping. Export, not save, export, and then it should bring us, yep, there we go, okay. And then save that, all right? I'll do the same exact thing for Sunday night, but just for the sake of your time, we're gonna get right into scheduling or sorting these up. Now, Sunday night, he did not preach. We didn't actually have like a sermon. It was just a revival service. So for that title portion of the thumbnail itself, I'll probably actually put Sunday Night Revival. I've had to do that a couple of times with some of these where God just takes over the service and we don't end up having a sermon and everything. I'll go into edit post for the one that I do want to change. Sometimes I'll change this description or this caption. Video options, Faded Glory, Pastor Sean Garnett. Change thumbnail, upload image. I'll go to the artwork here, thumbnails, and select that one and open, save. And then it should give me, should give me a preview here. Obviously this is not the title again, that's just the description. I will save that. Don't know what that was, but okay, let me refresh this and make sure that this actually worked. Yep, all right, there it is, 665 plays. We got almost 2,000 on last night's, that's pretty crazy, which last night's service was pretty crazy as well, that was awesome. Now, if you're wondering what I do with the square thumbnail and the stories thumbnail, I use it for probably what you're thinking. I schedule it on our social media. While they don't get a ton of likes, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm pretty much just sending a reminder to church family, or maybe somebody that could just be scrolling and maybe a title sticks out to them or something like that. And if one person sees it and goes back and checks out the service or the sermon, then it's worth it all. So I'll come in here and I will schedule a post that will share that sermon title and kind of give everybody an insight as into what pastor preached or whoever preached that last service. And then around the same time that post goes up, I will create or schedule a story, and that's going to be the story that I, again, just exported that literally matches the square graphic that's going to post around the same time. I try to get these to post around the same time just because if the story posts a day or 2 days before and somebody sees that story but then they see the feed graphic later on, more than likely they're going to have this idea that they've already seen that, which basically they have, and they're just going to scroll on past it and not even pay attention to it. So I try to do these around the same time. So I've already created a video on how I schedule these. Let me schedule this for. I'll schedule it for today. Create a post. Now, because it's today, it's gonna just ask me to create it, but I'll come down here and schedule it. We're gonna do it for 4:03 p.m. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. It smells like bubble gum. Do you smell it? Don't it smell like bubble gum in here?
I don't. You need to go to the doctor, bro.
No, it kind of smells like bubble gum.
So I do the square image, we'll add a caption there, and then pretty much the same thing for the stories, and then just schedule this around the same time. So because I have this going up around 4:03, I'll probably schedule the stories around 4:04, 4:05, and that's basically how we upload those. Hashtag POC family. Schedule. Create story, add media. That there, and then where it says share story, you just have to click this drop down box and hit schedule. We'll just go with 4:05. That'll work. That's good enough. And schedule, and that's it. And then you're done with all of your thumbnails. So hopefully this helped somebody out here. If you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're kind of looking into doing this maybe for your own church or for your own channel or creative, whatever. But if you have any questions, maybe if I was unclear on something or whatever, and you just kind of want to know a little bit more on templates, on different things that you can use for this Photoshop template as far as the thumbnail itself goes, all I used was the film preset. Yeah, just this HD 1080, whatever, 1920 by 1080 preset that comes in Photoshop. So anything like that. And then I just, threw in the border and threw in a gradient and then a black and white filter and all that kind of stuff for this. But you do whatever you want with that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this helped. If it did, then let me know that as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.